Welcome to another episode of Wine After Whines. This is Janay.
This is Najah.
Are you sure?
Last time I checked, I mean,
Okay.
I
You
could be wrong.
the way you said it, you sounded unsure.
This is Najah. I don't know.
It's not. Let me tell y'all, what I want to talk about is this last minute verses that we put on Friday. Thank you all for attending. For those of you who did not attend, I think it still have it up there. If you go to our IGTV, it might still be up there.
I
Um,
think the first part didn't go, it didn't stay, but it's still some good stuff on there. I believe it's still on there. Last time I checked, it was.
Yeah, so the first part didn't stay because of copyright issues. We got kicked off, so we had to log back on. But we had a DJ versus it was my brother-in-law, BJ the DJ versus his neighbor and our friend, DJ Bonafide. So yeah, we had
It
a
was
good time.
it was super last minute, y'all. I really wish I could have been there with them when they started it, but of course, she stays far as crap for me. So I couldn't make it over there in time. But we threw together them flyers. That IG posted, we was like, boom, versus. And Janay hosted the hell out of that show.
Thanks, friend.
You did great. I
That's a
can't
goal in life.
to host versus. You did it.
Versus.
Check that off that bucket list.
Check. But yeah, so that was really dope. Thank everybody for joining that. Hopefully, we'll do it again, and this time with more of an advance notice so y'all can be prepared for that because it was fun.
It was super fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was fun. And that was Friday, guys. So like
And
I
I
said,
heard you guys had a new pet.
who we do?
Mhm.
Are you talking about the caterpillar
Yeah.
that is cocooning as we speak?
Yeah.
Dude, like, first of all, this weekend was super chilled. We didn't do anything. And with that being said, the kids were outside a good bit of the time. I'll post it on our page. I had it on my personal page, but they had found a little caterpillar, like a really fuzzy one. They found a caterpillar. We put him in a jar, and we were gonna let him go the end of that night. But that night he started, or she, I don't know what it is, it started cocoon, like making its cocoon. So we just decided to keep it because we think we'll kill it if we
Try to
take it
check it
out.
out now. So
Yeah,
did you do like some YouTube Google research on how to keep a caterpillar alive
I
or
done no research. I am going off of every bit of memory as a child when we used to catch fireflies and put them in milk jugs. And
not the same?
it's not the same. We used to catch caterpillars too, but we would let them go.
Yeah,
But
this is a whole life that's now in your hands. You
they
understand that, right?
never they never decided to cocoon. So yeah, we have a whole jar that had my sea moss in it, cleaned that mug out, stuck some holes in the top, and boom.
That was my next question. My next question was, did you at least is it at least breathing?
Yeah, it's definitely breathing. Yeah, he's been in there just having to feel that. We put some leaves and a stick in there. We were just babysitting and
Now you have a whole life.
a
So
whole life.
once it start coming out, I guess you're just gonna open the jar and just let it fly
Let
away
it,
and live its life.
yeah, we're gonna have to let it free. I mean, I don't. I mean, I'm honestly gonna have to Google. I need to make sure.
Yeah, that probably would have been the first thing I did.
Well, hell, I didn't remember. I didn't think it was gonna happen like this. It was supposed to go away at like 10 o'clock at night. They can stay up a little late on the weekends. We're gonna let him go free, and he decided he just gone.
Now I'm a cocoon.
I'm a cocoon. I'm like, you had all day to cocoon, but you decide on my watch.
Yeah, because I don't even remember like how long they stay in cocoon. Like I don't remember any of that. So you probably should research that so you'll know.
Let me tell y'all this. This is super quick. Sad story. Not sad story, just sad for me because I wasn't listening. My son this previous week just his whole week was on butterflies and cocoons in class. I guess I didn't listen at all. Y'all, I have not listened at all. They have class pets that are in a cocoon right now. And they probably are about to release. They probably released already. Yeah, so I actually feel terrible because I have not well, I didn't teach that. I didn't really sit with him. My husband sat with him during these classes. So
Well, ask your husband.
he don't know either. So he
Oh,
should
okay,
tell me.
that's what's up. Okay. we
We
were trying
definitely
to
didn't listen.
we were trying to grow pinto beans at my house in a Ziploc bag. Um, I had it upstairs where I felt like at the window where that gets the most sun.
The one in your
Um,
hallway?
no, the one in the guest room. The sun hits
Well,
that,
that does
that
get good sunlight in
but a week and a half went by and like I saw no change. So I was like, well, maybe I need to move it downstairs to the front room where the sun comes in over there too. Um, when I moved it, I tore the bag a little bit. And so I like tried to like put it back together or whatever. And like the next day it looked like it was like a little bit of mold or something on the napkin that was in there.
Mm.
So I just politely took it out and threw it away. And the kids haven't said anything about it since. And I hope they don't bring it up. Like, where's my pinto beans? It's supposed to be sprouting. I'm gonna have to figure out another way to do that because that was a fail. I'm
Oh,
not good with living things, like growing things. Like I can handle
yeah.
like humans and a dog, but like, plant life things,
I'm not the best at that either. I'm not. I refuse to lie. I don't have that green thumb.
Oh, no, mine is a good purple. I
But
can't.
listen, I mean, we both here out here trying. You know, I got caterpillars. You got beans. I mean, y'all see our lives, right? Y'all see how our lives are right now.
Trying to make it in this world.
Oh goodness. Anywho, girl, what else is going on in the world? What is going on?
So we can move on to the social circle to tell
Yeah.
y'all what's going on in these here streets. First and foremost, sad news. I don't know if you all grew up in the era of Baldwin Hills,
Mhm.
but Baldwin Hills Star Ashley Green, was it Gerren? It was Gerren. Ashley
I think it
Gerren
was
Taylor.
Garen, not Jaren. Yeah,
Yeah,
Garen.
it was Gerren Taylor. She passed away in her sleep at age 30. She always had some health complications. Like she battled from lupus.
Mhm.
Um so yeah, rest in peace. She was only 30 and I grew up watching Baldwin Hills because and I my favorite was Mariah, which was her boyfriend at one point, right?
I think it was something like that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
Mariah. It's Mariah. I follow him on Instagram to this day.
yeah,
And you know how long ago Baldwin Hills was
that
on.
was so long ago.
Years. So yeah, rest in peace to her and her family. The cast did and her family and prayers for her family and the castmates. They did like this get together thing where they brought like some of the cast back to kind of like
I saw that. I saw
yeah
that.
preserve her memory. But yeah.
That's super
You
sad.
know, they say it happens in threes. They say that all the time, like
Oh,
death.
like deaths. Yeah.
So it was DMX and then Aaron, and
And then
then
Black Rob.
hmm
If y'all know Black Rob, I believe he was 51, 50 or 51, and he passed away of kidney failure. If you don't know who he is, he's the one who sung the song Like Woo. And he was in some of Diddy's stuff as well. That was one of his artists. Um, that's super sad. He did a little video where he was pretty much on his deathbed, tribute, saying sorry
paying
for the
homage
loss of
to
DMX. Yeah,
yeah,
paying
to
homage,
DMX.
thank you, to DMX. And then shortly after he actually passed away, we found out it was kidney failure. I know a lot of people didn't know what was wrong with him at the time when he did the video because he did not look good at all. He looked very sick. And people were praying for him when they saw that because a lot of people did not know. Like they did not know he was on his deathbed. They did not know he was even sick.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, so yeah, prayers to his family as well. That was super sad. I'm just like, what is going
And
on?
we're in the, I feel like we say this every year though. Like we're in the beginning of April and well, middle of April. And so much has happened. So much
And
has already happened.
so
And
much,
we're not even mid-year yet. Like
although, even though like what you're saying that you're right, we're not even mid-year yet, but I do feel like this year is like going by so fast.
I do feel that too, but I feel like this has been the longest 4 months of my life, like of 2021 has been.
No, I get what you're saying, like 100%. I get what you're saying, like, who. But yeah, with all that being said, it's just so much going on, y'all. Rest in peace to everybody who passed away from her, DMX, Black Rob. You know, prayers up to your families and everything. But even in more news, more depressing news, we have another shooting, cop on black man shooting. I know y'all have heard about it. It's been nothing but in the news about um dang, I forgot his name. It just slipped my mind. Daunte Wright, huh?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was
sorry,
gonna
it
look
slipped
that
my
up.
mind for a second. But yes, Daunte Wright. He was shot by a it was a white officer, a white female officer this time. Kim Potter. Um she said she mistakenly pulled the gun instead of the taser. Uh and shot him. She thought it was a taser. I'm gonna say this, y'all, and I know it's been going around social media because it happened at the beginning of last week, but and her show had already went out, but there's no way you can mistake it. I mean, there's possibility, yeah, there's a chance. Me personally, this is me personally. You know, you feel however you want to feel, but the lady in the body cam video, she had the gun out for a good minute before she pulled the trigger. Now you didn't notice that whole time with this black gun sitting in front of you, sitting in front of you. It's a black gun just sitting in front of you. But you have the taser is yellow. You didn't notice. Oh, I got the black one instead of the yellow one. You didn't notice how long the handle was. Boom, 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 boom. Like there's a big difference. Like I said,
And the weight
that's just my
difference as
personal
well.
opinion, huh?
The weight difference as well.
Yeah, see, I don't know the weight difference. I've never held one of those tasers before. I've held a taser before, but not one of those. But I mean, I can imagine you got a clip full of bullets. This one don't have no clip. I
Hmm.
mean, I don't know. I cannot, I will not, I can't really speak on because I have never held one of those, but kind of common sense a little bit.
I saw a video about a cop with a cop showing uh, where they put their guns and where they put
Mhm.
their tasers and everything, and he was like, you know, your gun always goes on your dominant side anyway. So why would you would be reaching on your dominant side to pull your gun out, not on your, you know what I mean? Like you would reach
Yep.
to your non-dominant side to grab your taser. So he was just kind of like, this was a white officer that did the video, and he was just kind of like, I just like don't understand.
Don't understand it.
Um, playing devil's advocate and saying that she grabbed the wrong thing.
Are you trying to put some pieces together in your head?
I'm just trying to make it make sense because it just doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, like, I actually spoke with my husband about it, and he's the type of person that he sees both sides, no matter what. He even said it. He like, I really, he's like, it's a possibility, you know. He always has that, you know. That's how he is. And then he's like, but this time he was just like, that is hard. I mean, it could happen, but
I'm sure it
it's
could, but for somebody who has 26 years of experience,
that's my thing.
that's what I just find that hard to believe. But the thing is, people are saying, um, I guess my main thing is like, what was your motive for? Did you just like? Did you just think you were gonna get away with killing him? Like, so you decided in that moment, I'm gonna be a bomb actress. I'm gonna pull out my gun and just shoot him purposefully, and then play it off by knowing you got a body cam on, playing it off by saying, "Oh man, I shot him." But like, is I mean, you thought that that was just gonna be like enough to say, "Oh my bad, that's an accident," and like for those of us thinking why, like what, like, oh, if say she did it on purpose, there's a lot of people out there, she did that on purpose, she did that on purpose, she did that on purpose. Why? Like what
Yeah, because
just why?
even if she even and I'm gonna be honest with you, I still want to know why too, because in all honesty, if she truly had to fire at him, it would have been justified because he tried to run. And if he would have touched any type of firearm, because honestly, I don't know if he did have any, I don't know if he had a gun in the car or any type of weapon, anything. But if he, like, you still wouldn't have had a reason to shoot him, even if he did run like that to kill him. I mean, he could have gotten to a motor vehicle, which is considered a weapon. He could have gotten to that and drove and tried to hit them. But the way that they were, how the whole video played out, I mean, he wouldn't even probably been able to get that far with how y'all had him. Y'all could have just like hit him, got him. Even like I said, the real taser probably would have stopped that. And if it didn't, then that's when you can do all that. But I mean, to be honest, I
I just
don't
don't
know.
know. Like,
I have no
for you
reason.
to say it's an accident, that means you really shouldn't have been a cop in the first place or something, because that's crazy. That's ridiculous, number one.
Right.
And number two, how many times do officers chase people in their car? Like, y'all could have just hopped in y'all little car and had a little chasey down the street. You know what I'm saying?
They could have. They
Or
try to. They do try to prevent those. They do try to
I know,
prevent those because of innocent people. They do.
I
But
get that.
like you said, in that case, you could have. Um,
Or search him at his house. And plus, I also heard, like, I didn't really watch like it in detail to like break it down, but I did also hear that the way she told him there was a warrant out for his arrest. Usually, they would have already handcuffed them. Like, he wasn't handcuffed, right?
he
He was
couldn't have.
about to be handcuffed
Yeah.
before he was about to be handcuffed, but then
He
before
broke
that,
it.
she was like, "Oh, you got a warrant out for your arrest." He was like, "Oh, warrant, skirt." You know what I'm saying? Trying to leave.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
So usually they would handcuff you first and get you situated, and then say,
You
you
have the
know,
right to
there's a warrant out for your arrest. So why did you do it backwards, knowing that he could potentially run if you know he got a warrant? You know
Mhm.
what I mean? So that part was like iffy
Mind
to me too.
boggling.
Like, why would you tell him that before you even apprehended him first? You know?
It's ridiculous. She was
And
uh
his mom was a white woman, for those of you who don't know, and his
he was mixed.
was black. Yeah. So
Hmm.
she's been speaking out about it. Was just heartbreaking to hear her story about her last conversation with
Yeah,
him
I heard
on the
that. That was
phone.
so
Like, that
sad.
broke my heart, because that could be my kid. Like, I'm on the phone, like, and he was like, "Yeah, mom," like telling her what was going on. And for her to have to like witness that as a mom, I know she's gonna be replaying and replaying that conversation over and over and over and over in her head.
Yeah, I do know initially. I do want to put out there the initial cop who did pull him over, because she wasn't the initial cop. If you didn't know that, it was a black guy who was going to arrest him, a black person. So, I don't know if he had it under control. I don't know if he called for backup because of that. But yeah, she wasn't even the initial cop that pulled him over. So I don't know, but it was. But another thing before we move on, he was initially pulled over, from what I hear, for an air freshener.
Because they're
Being in New,
illegal
yeah,
there.
it's not legal there. We gotta. They're gonna have to do something about these laws of why y'all pull us over. My husband just got pulled over this weekend because of he has a cover over his license plate. So it's like a little bit of a tinted license plate. I actually showed Janay how it looked on FaceTime. She read the license plate straight out, like she could see it, point blank, period. So for him to even get pulled over for that, and you took the time to come to his passenger side of the window like he's a criminal and pick on him for that. I told him, I said, they know your truck, so they gonna mess with you. But yeah, that's what it would be. They got to do something about these little ass reasons you pulling us over. Go
Okay.
find. There's real criminals out in the street. Find something else to do.
Even with that lieutenant that they got that they stopped that time. I don't know if we ever talked about
Yeah,
that, but I watched the whole 30-minute body cam of that, and it was so annoying. It was just so annoying. It was
yeah,
a traffic related incident that turned into something that just didn't need to be.
didn't
Like,
need to be.
and I don't know if you know, but he was just trying to get to a well lit area, and that's what pissed
Mhm.
him off.
Which is legal if you call 911 and tell them, hey, I'm being followed by a police officer. I just want to get to a well lit area.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it is what it is at that point. This is
over
crazy.
it, over
Yeah,
it.
I'm
But
over it.
this lady has been, I don't know if he said it, but she was
Hard.
charged with second-degree manslaughter, which is not nothing really, right?
That I know of. I mean, I'll have to do more research on it, but
Yeah, I don't think
you
they.
won't get no real
Yeah,
time for it,
but
probably.
and she was able to retire, so she can get her
Yeah, she resigned.
pension.
Mhm.
Speaking of pensions, real quick, I don't know if you remember this lady. It's a black cop. Back probably 15 years ago now, she stopped her white partners from choking out a black suspect.
That sounds familiar.
She was a black cop and she got fired because she was trying to take her partner off of his version of apprehending or choking out
Yeah,
a black victim. So this happened probably about 15 years ago, and she is just now getting her pension from being fired. She had 1 month left for her 20 years of being an officer,
and she's just now
and she
getting
is just now, the judge is just now
granting her her pay.
granting her her pension. I
Wow,
just find that absolutely ridiculous that
wow,
it took that long.
wow,
That long.
wow,
Besides the point, because these, like, I got some
wow.
more that we'll
I
talk
am
about.
still in shock. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, you can look her up. It's crazy. Um, well, while we're on the issue of Black lives, um, so the head of the New York City's Black Lives Matter chapter calls for an investigation of the organization's co-founder after she spent $3 million on her 4 homes. So this woman's name is Patrice Khan-Cullors, I think.
Yeah,
So Miss Patrice is being questioned and under investigation because she has spent over $3 million on houses in LA, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So they want to know, like, where you getting this money from, boo? Like, where is it coming from? Are you stealing it from the Black Lives Matter um, fund or whatever? Like, what are y'all doing with the Black Lives Matter money? You know what I mean? So that's been investigated. She recently came out to say that none of that is true. She's not taking money from Black Lives Matter. She has her own money from speaking engagements, her book deals that she's done, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But she did kind of throw a little bit of shade, and she was like, but I don't take a salary from Black Lives Matter. However, like, we do put a lot of sweat, blood, tears, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, into the organization, and we probably should be getting a salary, but that's besides the point.
I mean, am I wrong for agreeing with her on that part?
You're not wrong.
Because I mean, which I'm not saying $3 million, but I'm saying what do I expect? I mean, y'all have put people have put a lot of money into this Black Lives Matter organization. I mean, it's almost like them pastors. She gonna live some way, and she gonna live good probably because they giving money, and I do believe she's getting a lot of money from speaking engagements. Like what we've done working in hospitality with these people, and they charge out the behind to come to their speaking engagements, and these brainwashed people will go watch them. So I'm not saying the people are brainwashed who go see her, so don't come for me. But
She's talking about other type of events that people throw, like on
yeah,
how to like find yourself events.
I mean, I believe it. People pay money for those.
Yeah, they do. She
So,
also said she was like just like any other woman, a black woman, a woman of color. Like I'm making sure my family eat. So those houses aren't like for me to like. Even if it was, it's none of our business. If it's her personal money, but even she was just basically like, I'm not Airbnb out those homes. I'm not like renting them out or anything like that. Like I'm taking care of my family, my extended family, my people that need a place to live.
mm-hmm,
Like, you know what I'm saying? And if she's in position to do that now because Black Lives Matter gave her a platform
mm-hmm,
to do that. I mean, if I started an organization, right?
mm-hmm.
And I got so big that I was making money from my books and speaking engagements and stuff. Don't tell me how to spend my money. Like I'm gonna buy 5 houses if I want to.
Exactly. That's how I felt when I seen this. I mean, like at first when I first saw it, I mean, I really didn't look too much into it. But then I did look a little bit and I'm like, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, y'all lead the pastors and stuff, they doing it too with the church's money. And I mean, don't nobody investigate them. I'm just
They
saying,
do get investigated.
I
They
mean, they might do get investigated, but they still live though. They still live good.
Yeah, and I
They still
think
live
that
good.
I think that it's okay to be investigated. I think that if you're gonna have an organization like that, I think that it's perfectly fine for you to have whoever
Look
people
behind
come
it.
look at the books. I think and you shouldn't have nothing to hide. I think that's okay.
Not exactly. That's my thing. As long as she ain't got nothing to hide, she good. I mean, if she has something to hide, she ain't good, of course. But I'm just saying.
Yeah, like I would be like, yeah, come check the books.
Yeah,
Come,
exactly.
come check the books. Come make sure everything is everything. Like hire
Right.
your people to come look out and make sure you know what I'm saying, we're doing what we're doing because people are giving their money to this, and you want to make sure it's legit. So if you got an accountant or somebody that signs off on it and say, yeah, they're doing everything they're supposed to do, funds
Mhm.
are allocated towards where they're supposed to go, then more power to you.
Yeah, and she's a co-founder, so of course she's up there. So she
But
gonna
one
probably
thing
be.
Yeah, but one other thing before we move on, somebody did say, I think it was her or somebody else, I can't remember. They were like, white people don't get this type of heat when they have an organization and they go out and get successful and go buy their homes and their whatever, but let a black woman have this type of organization and go out and try to be successful. Now it's a problem, and now we got to try to figure out how you getting this money because you obviously can't be doing it the legal way. But she's black, and I really haven't heard about lately or anything about a white person having an organization that they questioning.
I
But
mean, me
yeah.
personally, I haven't either. Like I said, we used to deal with it on a regular basis, working in hospitality, dealing with a lot of people who's over these organizations, and then they also do these speaking engagements.
Mm-hmm.
And to my knowledge, just to my knowledge, maybe in yours too, as well as like we don't know if they're being investigated. And like I said, these people come with high demand, so I know they're spending about the same amount of money as she's spending on homes, and cars, and everything else. Um, and yeah, because their demands are freaking high when they come to these places. So I know I personally don't see it either, but I mean it could be out there, but it isn't as big as it.
I thought it was an interesting point. I'm like,
It was. It is an interesting thing. That is something very interesting, actually. But by all means, go investigate the woman. If she's doing wrong, take her down. If she's not, leave her alone. Period.
More power to you, sis.
More power to you. Moving along. Y'all, Janay, you heard about Usher throwing them Usher bucks?
I thought it was little Ush bucks. So let me tell y'all what happened. This dancer, oh, I was about to say stripper. I mean, same thing, right?
I mean, in what, we'll talk about that later.
Okay. This dancer out of Las Vegas blasted Usher about, she was saying something about when you be mad if you came home with this fake money that you can't exchange. Usher was just throwing this everywhere, blah 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 blah, and it was his face on like money, on the ones, on everything. Like Usher was everywhere. Usher was okay. So he comes out and it was like the club owner was like, actually he spent thousands of dollars on the dancers that night and bottle service. The fake Usher bucks were to promote his upcoming Vegas residency.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, why you go out and do that? Now you know that man wasn't like, come on.
Yeah, people just. What I'm gonna tell you is, what is that? I don't know if this is what they call clout. I don't know. I don't know how to use these words right. But she's looking for a come up. Like, that's what I feel. You want to put Usher out there now? You know this man has spent real money, but y'all know that was a promo. He was not doing. This man got plenty of money. He ain't out here trying to be. I thought it was. I thought it was funny.
I thought it was funny too,
because I didn't take it serious when they said he was throwing fake Usher dollars. The first thing that came to my head was he's promoting something. I had no clue that's what it was, but I was like, he promoting a new album or something. But 9 out of 10, he threw real money too.
Yeah, but the fact that he's doing a Vegas residency is exciting. I kind of want to go.
I mean, you want to talk after the show?
Yeah.
Okay.
Figured it out.
The plane tickets over to Vegas right now, cheap as a mug.
I know, them hotels always cheap.
Sure. We'll talk about that.
A little mask, you know what I'm saying? Which you would not catch me in a strip club finding these Ush bucks. That's what you won't catch me.
Too many cavities exposed. Oh. Anyway, moving right along. Speaking of cavities exposed, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I went on the shade room and I saw that they got R. Kelly moving to a New York prison for this traffic thing. The federal judges moved them over there. Not drug, sex trafficking. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. I forgot all about this man being locked up. I'm not gonna lie to you. I should. I mean, I guess I should. I should care more, but
you've been trying to get out of jail this whole time, blaming it on COVID.
Exactly. When I tell you this man being locked up has slipped my mind. It has slipped my mind. I know. I'm not sitting here yelling free R. Kelly. I'm not doing that, but I am saying I forgot he was in there. He kind of went. It was irrelevant to me. Everything happened. I mean, how am I supposed to remember this? God dang, people dying of COVID. I'm stuck in a house with 2 kids. And now a dog. I forgot about this man. He just don't mess with my daughter. That's all I gotta say.
I cannot. I don't know why his trial hasn't started. That's what I'm confused about. But they ain't got nothing.
Exactly.
Anywho, but what I have to say regarding Mr. Kelly is I was trying to figure out. Me and I'm gonna bring this to verses right for half a second. So we were trying to figure out everybody keeps saying Chris Brown and Usher. I'm like, that don't make sense. It's like a father teaching the son. Like this is
Thank you.
Like Usher is like I'm not saying they can't go hit for hit, and I ain't saying that Chris ain't got no hits. That's not what I'm saying. I love Chris Brown.
I love Chris,
but
no,
I'm saying that's like the OG.
Yeah.
And like you and a prodigy. Like you can't do that. That doesn't make sense for a battle for me to me. But I was like, if R. Kelly was out of jail, Usher and Kelly, R. Kelly would be a great
That's it.
versus.
That's the verses that I would be excited about. Kill me. I don't care. I would love to see that. People can hate me all day. I was looking at the comments. I actually read some comments, y'all. I was looking at don't do that. Don't do that.
Okay,
Not in public.
Oh, okay.
Listen. I was looking at the comments under this, and of course, people was hating him. Keep him locked away. We don't want him here in New York. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, I don't care. But people was like, listen, I just love his music. And I'm like, yes, people love his music. And people were like, it was a lot of free R. Kelly. He ain't do it. There was a lot of people saying, I can't believe it. You can't say that. And then it was like it was so funny. Like I see why y'all read the comments. It was freaking hilarious.
It's entertaining.
Very entertaining.
The comments are way more entertaining than the posts.
Yeah, exactly. I 100% I have to give it to y'all that the comments are the best. And this dude, I mean, that's where it would be. I mean,
they should really just figure out how to do a Tupac and Biggie verses with holograms. Also, Michael Jackson and Prince with the holograms. Now, if y'all take this, Swiss and Tim, I want my money. Okay? If you somehow stumble across this video one day in your lifetime, or one of your kids or somebody just happen to click on this and actually hear this part of this video, I want my money. If I see a hologram, Pop and Biggie and Michael Jackson and Prince, cut the check.
I definitely thought about it. I definitely thought about them doing I'm not holograms, but a versus. But I didn't think as far as a hologram. I don't know how I would feel about it.
I would be in shock the whole time.
I would be in shock. I don't know, Janay. I mean,
I would feel okay. I would feel okay with it. I really would.
I don't know. I might be a little creeped out. That's me. I have a creepy spirit. I don't know.
It is a bit creepy. Diddy sent his own self to his kids' party.
But he's still alive.
Be a hologram.
He's still alive and kicking. That's fine.
And Kanye West had her daddy.
Bro, that was creepy as hell to me. That was creepy as a mug to me.
So, any of your passed away relatives, if I wanted to gift you a hologram of them, that ain't what you
don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Just paint a picture of them and I'll hang it up. Oh, that's kind of creepy too. Just about this size.
Yeah, you don't want a hologram?
No.
If you gave me my grandma or my granddaddy, who have passed away, rest in peace, and a hologram.
And my grandfather's going, and that was I love this man.
I don't know what I would do. I'll probably just be like,
yep, my grandmother and my grandfather, I love them both to death. If you would have got me that, like Janay, I had to pull you to the side while it was still talking. I'd be like, listen, I appreciate it, but I'm not going to go back in this room until it's over. Oh, I appreciate where you coming from.
Yeah.
Your spot in your heart, but I'm going to stand here till it's over. I'm going to walk back in. I'm going to cry and I'm going to be like, thank you. But I will not sit there through the entire hologram performance or whatever you call it.
Try to like put your hand through it, like,
bruh, I'll be in the back row. It's for me and I'm in the back row. Looking stupid. Probably a fetal position.
But I mean, I wouldn't mind it. I don't know. That is creepy though.
Nah, y'all can have that. I love my deceased grandparents. Those are the closest ones to me that passed. And I just don't want a hologram of them. I have pictures and memories. Just let's leave it at that.
I feel you. Noted.
How do we even get on this subject? Where we talking about R. Kelly?
It don't matter. So, all of that, R. Kelly moving to New York City.
You're so funny. Oh, but this was hilarious though.
Okay.
Moving along.
This relationship corner was found on the book, is what the old people call it.
Young people.
No, I don't call it anything really on Facebook. I'm not gonna say the young man's name that typed this because I want him to remain anonymous because Let me just read it, okay? So you can understand where I'm coming from. This is coming from a man's perspective. I must put that out there. If a woman terrifies you or makes you feel insecure in your masculinity in any way, then you need to be closer to that woman. You need to know why her energy makes you uncomfortable. Learn yourself. She can teach you something. Resisting her does nothing for your growth. Deactivate your ego, embrace your vulnerability, and proceed towards her with the best intentions. Now, I have a good friend that reposted this, and I'm going to give you his rebuttal first. He says, dot, 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 no, period.
I love it.
He says, imagine running behind a woman that makes you feel like less of a man in hopes that you feel more like a man afterwards. Maybe we should maybe you should have let them censor the internet. I just want to say I agree with my dear friend here. This is the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life. And I feel like, oh, dude was trying to be all philosophical or
Derek Jackson-ish.
yeah, he was having like a moment. He was having a moment, and somewhere in his mind, he thought this made sense. I just want to like read the first line to you again, and I just want you to tell me. Let's break this down because I want you to tell me what this sounds like to you. If a woman terrifies you or makes you feel insecure in your masculinity in any way, you need to be closer to that woman. Why would you want to be close to somebody that terrifies you or make you feel insecure in your masculinity?
Bruh, I'm gonna break it down
Like
even
I
further.
slick want to phone a friend to like ask, like
If any woman makes you feel less of a man, I'm gonna put it in those words. I'm not gonna say this shit terrify you. No, if she makes you feel less than a man, you don't need to be with her. And as a woman, if you feel like you have the ability to make a man feel less than a man, then why would you even want him? If
that
he's
part.
allowing you to make you feel, if he's allowing you as a woman to belittle him in his masculinity, why do you want a man that you're going to treat this way? Why? What purpose is he serving in your life? That's from a woman's standpoint.
I I get that, and I'm there with you because this you need to be closer to that woman. No, you need to run far away from that woman. Like you are not a child
Why is a woman
anymore.
you?
Like you are a grown man. And being with somebody shouldn't make you feel this way. You need to go to therapy and figure out why you got like there's something in this woman that maybe is bringing out the worst in you, but maybe you need to deal with some childhood trauma or something that you got going on because that ain't it. And the second sentence says you need to know why her energy makes you uncomfortable. Why would I need to know why if somebody's energy makes me uncomfortable, I'm not going to explore that any further. I'm
Yeah,
sorry, there's something about you that we're not vibing on.
yeah,
I feel in my spirit that we just, this ain't it.
right.
I am going to separate myself from you.
Yeah, that's the problem. If you're deciding to stay with somebody that's making you feel this way or feel uncomfortable, run. You don't need to get to the root of this problem. There's no root to get to. The only reason why you're staying with this person, obviously, and this is my opinion, it has to be some type of physical feature or something that you like. This person is beautiful to in your like your definition of beautiful, or you think she's fine, whatever. But honestly, that's the only reason why you would stay with somebody who makes you feel utterly uncomfortable, who makes you feel uncomfortable and you're terrified of. You're only with them probably because of something physical.
This
if you decide to explore this?
I don't even, if my energy is not right with you,
I don't want that.
period. I'm not. I can't even be physical. There's no physical if your energy off.
Agreed. Agreed 1,000%.
Moving on. He says, learn yourself. She can teach you something. Resisting her does nothing for your growth. Um, I agree that you can be with somebody that helps you reach your potential and your next level.
Yeah.
But that doesn't come in the form of making you feel insecure about yourself, making you feel less than a man, and all of that. I feel like I push my husband. I feel like he pushes me, and we help each other grow in areas. But I don't feel like I'm making him feel less than or making him, there's a
Yeah.
difference between pushing somebody like, okay, I'm gonna help you reach your goals so you can grow and be this and that, and stripping all their manhood away. You know what I'm saying? To give them tough love or something.
Agree.
You know what I'm saying?
Agree.
Like, that's
Agree.
weird.
That is 100. I 100% agree with you. Yeah. Resisting, like, okay, you're not resist. Let me tell you this. Resisting, the way I put that definition is you're continuously saying no, but you're continuously going back. The way this is put up, no, you're not resisting. You need to just stop. If somebody is making you feel uncomfortable, especially about your manhood, you don't need to resist nothing. You just need to go. You don't need to keep trying to push it away. That's what resisting is. No, just go. Just go, because you don't need to learn. You can learn stuff about yourself without being belittled. You can learn a lot of stuff. There's tons of ways to tell a man, hey, you need to fix this. Hey, let's try this. You don't need to make them feel little. That's hurting them more. That's hurting
I
them more.
I found it just surprising that a man would write this in the first place. Like, he must be in a place where he has been. I know we overuse the word toxic, but I feel like maybe he's been in a situation where it has been toxic, and he just,
Gave in to something else that
yeah,
like,
that he shouldn't have. The last part of this says deactivate your ego, embrace vulnerability, and proceed towards her with the best intentions. Ego is a big thing for men,
very.
and being vulnerable is a big thing for men. And I believe that you could do that in relationships, but that's when you're in a relationship where you're in a safe space. Don't no man or woman want to be vulnerable with somebody that's making them feel insecure. First, you got to get over the insecurity before you can call yourself being vulnerable with
Vulnerable. Yeah,
somebody.
exactly. You have to get over that, especially as a man. And you're not going to allow them to get over that if you're treating them like this. And when I first read this, when you first had me read this, I just knew it was a woman. I didn't even read the name. I just knew it was a woman saying this. And then I was like, oh, okay.
Oh
This is
man,
a whole man saying this.
yeah, that's what threw me off.
And this person is not gay. This person is a straight man talking about a woman. So no,
Crazy. He's a
this is,
black male. Let's say that.
yeah,
That threw me to, like, what in the world? Yeah. Look, maybe he got a hold of some bad marijuana or something, and he was just in there thinking like, "Yo, you need to stay with the one that's terrifying you. Maybe it'll help you." Like, what? Go,
man.
go sit down. Take a nap. Think about it. Reassess, because that ain't it. And
Yeah.
any woman, vice versa, if you feel like a man is um, taking away your femininity or your whatever, don't move closer to that man. I mean, I think, you touch the stove, you're gonna get burnt.
Exactly.
It's kind
I
of
agree.
how that works. So
I agree. Whew. Girl, that one took a little bit out of me right there.
yeah, they made me mad. Um, But we're gonna move on to your tip of the week, okay? So this can go for a man or woman, so I'm gonna read it that way. So a strong woman or man accepts both compliments and criticism graciously, knowing that it takes both sun and rain for a flower to grow.
Mhm.
So your tip of the week is to take compliments, but also take constructive criticism graciously. And when I say criticism, I'm not talking about from people on your in your outer circle of friends.
Mhm.
I'm talking about people in your inner circle, people who know you, people who are your intimate of friends. You know what I'm saying? Like the behind the veil type friend. Like, you know, everybody got little layers to their friendship. Some people we keep on the very outside. Some people we keep
I
on a
met
little
you.
bit in the middle. And then you as you get closer in, you got some like friends that's right there in that tight circle in the middle.
Mhm.
Um, if they got some constructive criticism for you, just say okay. Just take it graciously and go meditate on it, think about it, and because sometimes you are wrong and sometimes you're not always right, and we always can be taught. All of us can be taught something. None of
Mhm.
us are perfect.
Right.
Um, they might tell you something about yourself that could help you so much more in your career or your just personal life, etc.
Mhm.
Um, and I like how it just says, it takes both sun and rain for a flower to grow. So, sometimes
Yeah.
unfortunately we do have to go through things, but that does make us stronger and better in the end for it. So,
I honestly think that honestly can go back to our relationship corner.
yeah.
That can really go back to our relationship corner. It's the difference between criticizing and it's the difference between just being an a-hole. This right here is like they said, constructive criticism. So,
Mhm.
like you said,
Mhm.
this can go for both men and women. But yeah, I
Yeah.
like
All right. So, now that we dropped that great nugget for you, we're going to move on to my honest moment. I want to say this. Najah and I did not speak prior to this show, and my honest moment is also kind of relates to her knowledge with Najah on accident. That's just how kind of like I guess in tune we have been. And I know we talked about this a little bit in our social circle, but look, this is the time we're in. This is the climate we're in, and it's unfortunate, but here we go. So I was, minding my business, and I was scrolling through the. I have groups that I follow, and so there's a Facebook group that I follow when I worked in a particular part of town that was more white community. They have like, it's a golf cart community, whatever. So I needed to learn the area so I can know how to sell the area better, et cetera, et cetera. So I followed this group per instructions of my boss back then. So anyway, I find it interesting that all the time, like they always post like it's like, and for anybody who is Caucasian that's listening to us, if y'all ever want to come on the show and kind of explain y'all thought process behind things, and I would love to hear it because I'm just confused because it's like y'all live is not like it is like y'all live in a totally different world like than what we live in as Black people. Like a totally different world. There's a post that I put up on my page from Shannon Brown. Nope, nope, nope. It was not Shannon Brown. His name was Shannon though.
that.
He said white people, if you base I'm paraphrasing because I can't remember, but if you aren't sensitive to Black people's struggles, you don't have Black friends, Black people.
Hmm.
And that touched me because of the white people that I do know. And it's almost like, okay, I know y'all don't all have the words have all the words to make this country go to be what it's supposed to be, and it's not,
Mm-hmm.
and it's gonna take more than just one of y'all to say something. It's I don't know if we're beyond repair at this point. You know what I mean? As a whole, as a country,
Mm-hmm.
I this is it's kind of like it is what it is at this point. But back to what I was trying to say.
No, go
They
ahead.
made a post that some white man made a post that says it has a picture of police officers and it's like a meme. It says, if you are a enforcement officer and need a break, you can come park outside my home. If you are thirsty, I will bring you a drink. If you are hungry, I will bring you a meal. If you need backup, I will stand with you. If you need to talk, I will listen. Please don't lose faith in us. We are not all against you. We are strong and waiting to follow your lead. Now, this was addressed to police officers, law enforcement, etc., etc. And one of the black people that followed the post as well was like, read the room. This is very tone deaf of you. All
Mm-hmm.
the things that are happening with Black lives in this country, and even as of late, they just posted this. As
Mm-hmm.
of late, you gonna come out here and be like, oh, law enforcement, hey, I got your back. Don't give up on us. We standing with you.
Mm-hmm.
Like why where and it was like somebody else came on there saying white silence kills Black lives or something like that because y'all they don't speak up for when it's right. And they were saying it's funny how y'all y'all can put posts up like this, but you never put posts up about the injustice that's happening with black people. And then so
Mm-hmm.
then they got into a whole this, as you know, it blew up. So you got Black people against white people in the same thread, and Black people like, y'all are being so insensitive. The white people like, well, in the case of this 13-year-old boy in Chicago that just got shot, because that just happened, then
Mm-hmm.
he shouldn't have been walking around at 1 o'clock in the morning. Where the parents at? Y'all don't parent y'all kids better, blah, 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 blah. And
Mm-hmm.
then it's like the Black people like, okay, so y'all kids is just better than our kids? Like, we don't,
Oh,
it
it
just
was
got,
on and on in that thread. Like it was a back and forth thing the whole
yes,
time, huh?
yes,
Wow.
yes. And it just showed me where we are as a country. Because there are really people out here that believe Derek Chauvin did nothing wrong when we all saw him kill George Floyd.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one right there.
There, I mean, it's like,
Yeah, there are, and a lot of people make jokes about that one too. So that one hits a different spot for me. Like when people have to comment on that one. But yeah, I couldn't be in that thread. I couldn't read that stuff. See,
I
that's
never, yeah, it just got me so
it's
heated.
press a different button for me.
Yeah, it got me really heated. I'm just like, and I shop in this area. Like,
I
I
know
go
you.
to the area because it is the nicer part of town.
Mm.
So, it grinds my gears. You
I
know what I'm
like that.
saying? Like,
No, and I can
oh,
totally understand that. That is something that'll make you uncomfortable because one, when you put, like you said, this statement is very tone deaf. Like, I mean, I can understand you having your law enforcement is back when it comes to certain things. All law enforcement officers are not bad. All of them aren't.
no,
Nobody's saying that. But at a time like this, when people feel so strong about people being killed, when there's other ways of going about it, and then you say stuff like it was an accident, then you got your knee on one person, then they trying to say it was the fentanyl, when, I mean, yeah, this man's been taking it for years. It just happened to be that one moment. So it's just a whole lot when it comes to that. This is the wrong time to post that. And if you feel this way, go talk to an officer. You don't need to post this in public because that, like you said, is a very tone deaf message right here, and that really that'll mess with people the wrong way. So
Yeah.
that
And the amount of people that kept coming on there saying, yes, I agree, amen, blue lives, like the amount of people that like just came on there and was just like supporting it. And then the people that were against it, and then you would see some white people come and defend as well. Uh, but then it's just, it all goes back to they're saying, because then a black girl was like, well, I would love to have some of your privilege, and would you like to be black for a day or whatever? And then, you know, of course they don't want to be black.
no, they definitely
they
don't.
don't,
That's
they don't
the thing.
want that.
They will never understand. They won't understand. There's things that go wrong, there's things that go right, but you will never understand fully what it's like. I mean, and there's some people who don't even want to try to empathize with it. You know what I'm saying? I love being black. Don't get me wrong, I do. But you just got to understand, we don't just, it's not a breeze by in life like y'all is. Like, it's not, we don't have that privilege. We don't. I don't care what nobody say. Y'all have a privilege. And if you don't see that, then I mean, you just blind. But you cannot, you have to understand that it takes a lot to be black. I mean, it takes a lot. It takes a lot for us to get accepted into certain things as far as jobs, and then it comes to walking down the street.
That plus like how we were just even brought up. Period. Like a lot of
Schools,
things like we don't have opportunity to because of where we
100%.
grow up or how we grow up or the statistic of being single parent homes, and you know the areas that we go, you know what I'm saying, like we have to get it out the mud, so to speak, you know, every single time. Our journey is normally a lot more harder. Even the successful ones that make it, you asked about their success story, they daddy didn't give them that money to go invest in something. It's something they had to like hustle and grind for. Like,
that's why we as black people have to try our best to break these generational curses, like stuff like that. Like we don't a lot of us don't come from a whole bunch of money that our parents have passed down and passed down. We have to work for everything we have. People have to work for a lot of stuff that they have. We don't have that privilege and stuff. But yeah, it definitely, yeah, it definitely goes, it's definitely
it's the
a
it's
different, yeah, it's very deep. It's a little different out here for us than it is for them. And it's hard for them to, I don't even think it's that hard for them to understand. It's they don't want to understand. It's not a hard thing to understand. You can just look out the window and see it. So
when I was working out in this area, I was on the golf cart path with a male counterpart, and the looks that we got, I now know maybe what it would be like to be in an interracial relationship. They don't know if we're together or what we're doing, but we are on the cart, right, and we're just driving through the path. This one particular older white lady gave us like the meanest look that I've ever seen. Kind of like looked at me and like looked at him and was like just,
why?
he didn't say nothing, but she was clearly disgusted that we were together. And that was the first time I've ever experienced that, because you know, I mean, I'm never really with a white guy.
Never really just with a white guy, you know.
Yeah, but he happens to be married to a black woman.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I was like, do y'all get that a lot? Like, did you see her?
they do
He
get
was
that a lot.
like, yeah, like this is just, you know, he's had, and he said he's had black guys come up to him
Of course.
like, you ain't what you doing with her? You don't know what you're doing with that. You
Oh
can't.
yeah, that's a big thing too. Now that I'm gonna tell you this, when it comes to interracial relationships, that don't just go for the white folks. Black folks do it too. They don't like that. Some of them don't. Some don't care. I don't really care. I don't give two craps.
He gets
But
coming up to him, kind of like, oh,
you don't know what you're
like,
doing. Yeah, of course.
just real disrespectful, because you know, what white guy is gonna be like, hey, what up, bruh? Like, you got something to, like, square up. Hey, you know, we ain't gonna do that. They
Yeah,
ain't gonna do that most times.
it ain't happening. No, but no, I totally, yeah, that's a very tone deaf statement right there that was made. So I definitely understand the frustration with that one.
Yeah, I saw that and I was very frustrated. And honestly, I just had to give it
I'm glad.
to
I'm with you. With that being said, we're gonna move on to my knowledge with Najah, which it corresponds with it a little bit. I'm saying how I love how us Black people, and even white people or of other people of other cultures pull together for these situations that are going on in the news with, our people being shot and killed or held down and killed by the police officers. I do. I like how we're pulling together for that. My only issue is we are not pulling together for the crimes that are happening within our community against each other. Um, I'm not sure if anybody pays attention to any type of news that comes out. A lot of this stuff don't make the news with these killings, but we have so many killings. And I'm gonna use Chicago for an example because they are full of them right now, and none of this stuff is making the news. You really have to do your research or know somebody in Chicago to know this stuff going down. But there is so many killings with these young people killing each other, young Black people killing each other over dumb stuff. Over dumb stuff. People are getting killed over relationships, girls, and all of this stuff. But we have got to pull together like we pull together with these police brutalities, because I love how we come together. We got to come together for this too.
we barely come together for that. I might disagree. We are outraged together.
Exactly. You hit it right on the head. We are outraged together. Let's be this outraged about the shit. Oh, excuse me. This crap that's going on in our community. It's too many, it's too much of it. It's too much. My husband actually he does a lot of research on that. He's not a big fan of it, of course. And he tells me about it. And I'm just like, another one. These rappers are like these, it's a lot of like local rappers they have that are up and coming, which they could have boomed, you know what I'm saying? But they're being killed, and they think this is cool. Actually, they rap about it. They rap about, like, this is in their songs. This is what their songs are. There's this song that's out now. I actually have my husband. What's the song that's out right, LaDan? What's the song that's out right now? It's a song that's out that's using one of the old songs. And these guys are being investigated right now for this song because it's about getting bodies. Like they're killing people and they're naming the people they killed in the song, and it's popping. In South Georgia right now, the song is popping. My nieces and nephews were listening to this song, and I'm like, what? So I don't know the name of the song, but it's a very popular song down there. And this type of stuff is going on, and we're glorifying it. And we got to stop. If it's in the music, the kids are listening to
And
it.
half of the time they be lying anyway. I mean, I'm not saying that particular song,
Yeah.
but a lot of other stuff.
Oh, a lot of that stuff. Yeah, some of these people, the major artists, a lot of them be lying about
Like,
stuff.
you gotta think about like OGs that was really out here in the streets doing rapping and doing what they were talking about. Like,
Mhm.
and then these imitation people who come up behind them like, oh, we gotta rap like this, so I'm gonna just rap about.
But see, the sad part about that is, Janay, a lot of them lying, but a lot of them not. These young kids, it might seem like they're lying.
Who I smoke.
Who I smoke. I'm not having my child listen to no song called Who I Smoke. This is so crazy. Like these people, like I said, there are a lot of people out there trying to, you know what I'm saying, they flexing. But if you have to really do your research on these killings, and I'm using Chicago, like I said, because this is where a lot of it's going down. Is so many deaths. Like, in when I mean deaths, they're accident in say it again.
I said, are they gang related or are they just like whatever?
Gang related. I feel like gang related stuff, people related with rappers is like people.
Yeah,
like rappers against
I've
each
seen the rappers. I've seen those even in
and
Atlanta
then
happen.
yeah,
To
and then a lot of things yeah, and then a lot of things like kids are getting caught in this crossfire. So now there's so many young little babies losing their life, and I'm talking about 6-year-old, 7-year-old kids that are our children age getting caught in this crossfire. And then one more thing that I'm just gonna bring up: these here in Atlanta, we have these boys that sell waters at the lights, like at this traffic lights. I know a lot of y'all probably heard of it, but a lot of them have issues too. There's a lot of this. The other day, a few days ago, when I say a few days ago, probably like 3 or 4 days ago, one of the water boys killed somebody for not buying a water, for not purchasing a water. And then his friend comes on the news and say, because we are so outraged because Black people aren't supporting us by buying the water. I was like, did he, when he replayed that, when that was replayed to me, I replayed, I'm like, did he really just say, defend the fact that this man just killed somebody because we wouldn't give you $1 for a water? A lot of times I don't have $1. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't carry cash that much. There's times I do, but there's a lot of times I don't. So if I don't carry $1, you gonna try to kill me because you feel like I'm not supporting you, and I'm not cash apping you $1.
That's crazy. That's
Just
crazy. I just wonder, like, where was like what his mama said when she found out
I want to know too.
that y'all out
I
here.
don't ever hear about these boys' mamas and daddies. I don't. I don't. I mean, there might be out there, but I don't.
Not, yeah, no. Where are their parents?
Janay, is sad, sad situation. Let's just. It starts at home, guys.
What's the solution?
There, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. We come together, as you said, outrage for these police brutalities. But what we can try to defend that. But what we gonna do about what's happening within our own community?
Man, Boys and Girls Club was the jam for me and back in my youth. Like, I don't know, maybe these people need, like, what happened to the Million Man March and like the little, not the Million Man March, you know what I'm talking
I mean,
about?
that was a good little situation they had
Yeah,
going.
like all the little organizations that, help young black men and women. Like, where are the organizations at? Is it because I don't know? Like, I guess it's gonna take, it's too big of a world or country for us to like tackle everything, right? Like, it needs to be organizations in every state, city, local levels that can get
Mm-hmm.
together and like, okay, in my city, I know that the bad guys or boys or inner city kid, whatever, they need help on this side. So let's figure out what we can do. It's gonna have to take like mini groups of
Yeah.
of people to kind of do work in their community because I don't know what else.
We're so far gone. I don't know. That's it's gonna be a major, major, major step. It has to be something
And I'm
major.
sure there are people out there on the ground trying to do these things. It's just that
It's hard. It's so many lost souls out here. That's the only word I can think of right now.
yeah,
But y'all, we just need to try to pull together for this. I know it's hard. It's a lot easier said than done, but we also have to work on our community too. Because once we start having respect for ourselves, then they will try. They can probably have a little bit more, but we don't even really have it for ourselves. So, but with that being said, we're gonna bid you guys good night because I'm a little I'm a little drained talking about
that
some of
is
this
a
stuff.
mouthful. And if you're like, we're gonna go ahead and end for reals. But the show Them, that's out right now, I haven't watched a full episode.
Me neither.
Um, but it talks it's so heavy and it reminds me of this, even though it's like it's not real or anything like that. It's just, but it is, you know what I mean? It's just,
Real,
it's an exaggerated version of real
real.
about what black people go through and all of that. So it's hard being black in America these days, but
We can
No,
make it. Exactly. But thank you guys so much for listening and watching. Please make sure you follow us on all social media. That's Wine After Wines on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok, honestly.
find us.
Yes, you can find us. But thank you guys so much for listening and watching. You guys have a great Monday.
Bye.
Bye.